for free. This is the opposite of Denver. He doesn't have to be the savior. He's not expensive. You didn't have to trade anything to get him. I like it. This is the one we thought worked, and Russ and his agent thought so too. So it's interesting. Years and years ago, he had left Oklahoma City. He goes to the Warriors. You know it by now. KD joins a team that had already won a championship before him. Steve Kerr, Steph, Clay, Draymond. They were a percolating dynasty. And so KD joins them and is the best overall talent on the team, two-time, I think, finals MVP. And there were a lot of discussions. I never bought into them, but there were a lot of discussions. He's better than LeBron. And I was like, time out. LeBron is much bigger, broader, and greater in what he brings to a team, cohesion and chemistry. KD's just a great player, a great scorer. So KD goes to Brooklyn, and he gets his points. It's a mess. And so he goes then to the Suns, and it's Bradley Beal and Booker, all three really good scorers. And the Suns are a bit of a mess. LeBron's teams may not be great, but he's still got AD who's inconsistent, Austin Reeves. He got a championship in the bubble, Western Conference Finals. They've run through coaches. The Lakers aren't a mess ever with LeBron. The Suns are only 8th in the West, lost yesterday to the Bucks without Giannis. They're only 15-11 when Booker, Beal, and KD play, and defensively, they're just not very good. But bigger than all of that is, what are they? And that's the difference between LeBron and KD. You may hate LeBron because he is something. Very few people hate KD. LeBron is a leader, sometimes a villain. He is the setup guy, the front man to the band. He leads a team. He sets the culture. KD gets points. He's a piece. He's plug and play. When he went to Golden State, they didn't ask him to be a leader. Draymond was, Steph was, Kerr was, veteran Andre Iguodala was. When confronted by Draymond and Steve Kerr, KD was uncomfortable. Again, what are they? The Warriors have always been something and stood for something because of Steph Curry and Steve Kerr and Draymond Green. Draymond Green ensures toughness. Steph Curry ensures leadership and ball movement. And Kerr ensures intelligence and a style of play. They are something. LeBron James, distribution, leadership, IQ, the Lakers are something. He gets players to play at their very best. You think Austin Reeves is this good if he plays for the Wizards or the Orlando Magic? He'd get lost and you'd never hear of him again. Kyle Kuzma with LeBron was something. Now, what is he? And that's my knock on KD. Suns are desperate for leadership because Booker, before Chris Paul got there, and now that he's gone, Booker, like KD, is just an excellent scorer. This is not a criticism of Kevin Durant. I've said before, if you had a one-on-one tournament, he'd be the best player in league history. I love watching him play. I'm a fan of his work. But the difference between LeBron and KD is LeBron is always something beyond points and production. He can be a villain. He won in Miami being that. He can be a leader, joyful, getting Kyrie Irving to finally be a championship player. He can take broken down Anthony Davis, who people love but nobody trusts his health, and win in the bubble. Everybody with LeBron works around him. He is this force, the sun that everything hovers around. Doesn't always win the title, but often gets to the final or the conference championship with disparate parts which wouldn't work with anybody else. If you put LeBron with Booker and with Bradley Beal, they would not be 15-11 when playing together and 8th in the West. Again, not a criticism of KD. It's a reality of his personality. He's one of my favorite 15 players of all time. I'd vote him in today to the Hall of Fame. I've loved watching him play. But KD's greatest moments were not in OKC, Brooklyn, or Phoenix. They were when he joined a team with great leadership, because that's not what he does. And that cohesion and chemistry is a large part of what defines LeBron James. J-Mac with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herdline News.
Let's start with some news we missed while we were gone. Kenny Pickett's time in Pittsburgh ended with a bit of a thud. Remember, he was a first-round pick in 2022, and he was traded. According to the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, the Steelers traded him because of his behavior, and he expressed unhappiness over the arrival of Russell Wilson. And, here in the notes, don't forget, last season, Pickett was not happy to be the backup to Mason Rudolph. Remember, Pickett was healthy, but Tomlin just rode Rudolph. People are like, what the heck's going on there?
So aren't you a bit surprised that the Steelers, loyal to a fault, moved off the Pittsburgh kid? I've got to be honest. I said for a year, they're going to be too loyal. They're going to be loyal to the kid. And to their credit, Pittsburgh moved off a quarterback who in the AFC is simply not good enough. It's the right decision, but I am shocked. It shows you something that I didn't think Pittsburgh was capable of, which is like, yeah, we're moving off a guy.
Yeah. It
would be very easy to do a New York Giants and play him and pay him and just sit around, and that's what I thought they would do. But come on, in his career, he's got 13 touchdowns and 13 picks. Like, let's move
13 touchdowns in 24 starts.
And he played a ton of college games. Same facility. So he's got comfort. He's got continuity.
Well, he was just average in college until his final year. I think he was like the fifth year. He was like 23 years old. He had like 40 touchdowns.
Yeah, that was the concern out of college. When you see a quarterback who pops, like in his fourth year of playing, people are always very reluctant because you're just a much older kid.
Well, remember, that happened to Burrow, too. Burrow's first year at LSU, he was like mid. They were like, maybe he's a seventh-round pick.
Yeah.
Then he explodes with the greatest season ever. So I think people saw Pickett and were like, ooh, what if he's Joe Burrow?
Yeah, no, I get it. He's not.
So he'll be now the backup in Philadelphia. How about Pittsburgh changing their quarterback room? Last year, Mason Rudolph, Pickett, and Trubisky. Now it's Russell Wilson and Justin Fields.
Well,
that's a big upgrade.
Oh, yeah. It's a far more talented, mobile quarterback.
How much of this has to do with Tomlin being in his final year saying, guys, we're just going all in. I'm giving it one last shot. It definitely feels like this is Tomlin's last hurrah. I don't think he's – my guess is he's not going to be there after this year.
I think, again, this was so unexpected to me. It's the right move, but so unexpected. And I don't think Mike has a feel for offense, so let's go get a couple of athletes. They have a new offensive coordinator. They have nice pieces, but moving off Pickett surprised me.
How about this? So Russell Wilson goes to Pittsburgh. He's like, all right, we're going to Pittsburgh. I'm the man. And then trade Pickett. He's like, what's up? All of a sudden, here comes Justin Fields. Do you think he was ticked? Because there was a report that Tomlin called Wilson and said, hey, you're the starter. But Russ is going to be looking over his shoulder. You know that, right?
Well, and also, it's a great division. Baltimore, Burrow's back. Cleveland's got, I think, a great coach and a good quarterback. So the truth is, it's not out of the realm of possibility that in October, Russell has back-to-back stinkers, against the Ravens in Baltimore and the Bengals. And then Justin Fields steps in. So this is not a Russell's won and you got a college kid in the seventh round. Justin Fields at practice will make plays, and the younger teammates may be like, that's our guy. So the divide on a two-game losing streak, which, by the way, it's just going to happen. That division, you're going to have two-game losing streaks. The divide is real.
Yeah. Over under Halloween before Justin Fields is started.
I would do under, but by Thanksgiving, he will have started a game.
Fields will get a look.
I'm interested.
Remember Pickett last year against the Niners. Remember, I loved Pittsburgh in that game. Pickett was awful. You're like, oh, he's not the guy. I wonder if it's going to be a real short leash, because you got Fields waiting in the wings, and Fields can run around and make some things happen. Well,
you don't have to keep Russell or Fields after this year. So I wouldn't even be surprised if Pittsburgh didn't go draft in the third round the Tulane quarterback, who will probably be early third round. I mean, I could see them saying, listen, we're going to try you two. Yeah. We're going to bring this kid in to be in the quarterback room for a year with a veteran and a kid, and let's see how it plays out. But they spend their money on defense in Pittsburgh, so
not smart. But anyways, let's get to the Jets. They made a move grabbing Cowboys tackle Tyron Smith 14-year veteran, 8-time Pro Bowler. Listen, I don't love getting another aging 30-something-year-old. Last year it was Dwayne Brown, who was 37.
I like this move a lot by the Jets.
Well, listen, it's not the worst move in the world. The Jets apparently were surprised to land him. He's 33. Last 4 seasons, he's missed 37 games.
Okay, he has.
Listen, 2 years ago, torn hamstring.
Okay.
And he missed like 14 games.
So here's where I like it. It's a great left tackle draft. It's a great draft. Could be 6 in the first round.